There is sad news tonight. The former president of the Tallahassee chapter of the NAACP has died. Good evening. I'm Rockman Johnson. Thanks so much for joining me for this Bounce News at 7. Now, Charles Evans passed away at the age of 67. Dr. Charles Evans was most recently a professor in marketing at Florida A&M University. He attended North Carolina A&T State University, and he earned degrees in engineering and math, and he obtained both master's and doctorate degrees in marketing from Syracuse University in New York. He was extremely passionate about civil rights, and he is someone that the community is remembering tonight as an amazing leader of this community. Joining me on the phone right now is Commissioner Anita Davis, who is a former past president and chair of the Florida NAACP. Commissioner, how are you?
I'm very good today. I'm sorry about our loss, but, you know, good memories are attached to Dr. Evans.
I know it's indeed a sad moment when you look back on someone who's had such a storied career and helped to change the path of the NAACP in Tallahassee. What are your thoughts tonight about him and what he brought to this community?
Well, one thing I have to commend him for being a listener, and it's an honor to have worked with him and shared in the plight of the African American community, and most especially civil rights and human rights. And he was one of those listeners who would find out where the problem was and then find a way to resolve it. And I think that means so much, especially when you're working toward the good of the people and you are a public servant. He was an exceptionally good person, and I must commend him and many of the people in our community for the work that he done and for the furtherance of education to our children. And he left a mark here, a big mark, on those of us who will lose and feel the loss here in our community.
And I know it's hard. Dr. Evans, I understand, was 67 years old again and suffering from cancer.
Yes.
You had been in communication with him in the last few days and weeks.
Yes.
How was his spirit as he was transitioning?
He understood what God had for him. And when God has you in his plan, you're going to have to do what he says. And some things we can't get around, but his spirit was always high. He was always concerned about the people that he served and also how we work together. And that was one of his favorite words, togetherness, because sometimes people forget that this is a people community and also organization. And he stood up for many of the things that we needed, whether it was civil rights, education, things that were needed in housing. He worked through the NAACP. He worked directly under us and together with us. So that spirit of giving is a lasting spirit, and most of us who knew him were able to work together to make sure that our community did not suffer, but work together beyond our means to make sure that things were okay.
Commissioner, again, my condolences, and our entire family here to the community and the NAACP family will be talking to you as we get arrangements as they move forward. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll have additional details. Again, Dr. Evans was a native of Durham, North Carolina. He was raised with 6 siblings. He traveled throughout the country helping with business and marketing. We'll be following the story. Again, he's only died hours ago, and we'll be giving you the details on where his final resting place will be and the plans to remember him in the community.